You ever have those days where you feel like your mental energy is just leaking away, leaving you feeling kind of stressed, a little anxious? Well, what if the solution wasn't some newfangled app, but a toolkit for the mind that's over 2,000 years old? That's exactly what we're diving into today. Not abstract philosophy, but a super practical set of tools designed to plug those mental leaks. So let's get into it.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to pinpoint the real source of our troubles, what this ancient text calls mind leaks. Then we'll get into the good stuff, the 7 practical tools for fixing them. Everything from seeing clearly to guarding your senses. We'll look at how to deal with the world around us and how to build up our inner strength, all leading to the big goal, a genuine, lasting peace of mind.
So, first things first. Before you can patch a leak, you've got to find it, right? This first part is all about identifying the true source of all that mental and emotional static we deal with every day. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? That low-level hum of anxiety in the background, those sudden flare-ups of irritation, those moments of just heavy distress. Why does that keep happening? Well, this text suggests it all comes down to one single, really powerful idea. And that idea is outflows. Yeah, outflows. Think of your mind like a bucket filled with calm, clear water. These outflows are all the tiny little leaks, drip, 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 caused by things like craving, confusion, and just clinging to things. Each drip drains your mental energy, and that's what leads directly to that feeling of being stressed out and worried. Okay, so if our minds are leaking energy all over the place, how in the world do we stop it? This is where the text gets super practical. It moves from just diagnosing the problem to giving us a 7-part toolkit for fixing it. And here it is. This is the whole roadmap. Now, don't worry about trying to memorize this whole list right now. We're going to walk through each one. But you can already see, this isn't about some one-size-fits-all magic trick. It's a whole system, a complete approach to building a healthier mind. So the first 2 tools really set the foundation for everything else. They're all about mixing deep, honest insight with some real-world, everyday discipline. The first tool is seeing. And this isn't about having some kind of mystical vision. It's about clarity. It's about being willing to look at life squarely, the good and the bad, and cutting through that fog of confusion and doubt we all have. It means seeing things as they actually are, not just how we want them to be. Now, once you start seeing more clearly, this second tool, guarding, just makes perfect sense. If seeing is the insight, guarding is the action. It's like being a security guard for your mind. You start paying attention to what you let in through your eyes, your ears, and even your own thoughts, so you don't keep triggering those leaks of craving and anger. All right, the next couple of tools shift our focus. We're moving from our internal world to how we actually interact with the external world around us. This is all about making smarter choices, day in and day out. Method 3, avoiding, is where you really see how practical this whole system is. This isn't some complex philosophy. It's just good old-fashioned common sense. The text literally says to steer clear of things like a vicious elephant or bad friends. You know, sometimes the smartest thing you can do is just not go there. Then there's the fourth tool, using, which is all about your intention. Notice the text doesn't say you should get rid of things like clothes or food. No, instead it asks you to check in with why you're using them. Is it for status or just a quick hit of pleasure? Because that just feeds the leaks. Or are you using them for their real purpose, to keep yourself safe and healthy? That one simple shift can change your relationship with pretty much everything. Okay, so we've covered insight, self-control, and how we engage with the world. This final set of tools is all about building up our inner resilience, our mental toughness, and learning how to actively create the kind of mind we want to have. So method number 5 is enduring. And let's be honest, some stuff in life you just can't avoid. This tool is about developing that inner muscle to handle discomfort, whether it's being too hot or too cold or someone saying something nasty, without just flying off the handle. It's about developing real patience and resilience. Building right on top of that resilience is tool number 6, dispelling. A great way to think about this is like tending to a garden. When an unhelpful thought, like a flash of greed or anger, pops up, you don't just let it sit there and grow. No, you recognize it for what it is and you actively pull it out, like a weed, before it has a chance to take over. And finally, we have tool number 7, cultivating. And this one is so important. See, it's not just about stopping the bad stuff. It's about actively growing the good stuff. It means you make a real effort to develop positive qualities like mindfulness, joy, and a sense of calm. Because when you fill your garden with beautiful flowers, there's just less room for the weeds to grow.
So, you apply this whole 7-part toolkit. You really work at it. What's the payoff? What's the ultimate result of finally stopping all those mental leaks?
Well, the result is nothing short of profound. According to the text, when you really get a handle on this stuff, especially that first foundational tool of seeing, you start to break the 3 fundamental chains or fetters that keep us tied to suffering.
So, what are these 3 big chains? The first one is the belief that we have some kind of solid, permanent, unchanging self. The second is that deep, paralyzing kind of doubt that stops us from even trying to grow. And the third is getting stuck on rules and rituals just for the sake of it, without understanding why. When you let go of these 3, your whole perspective just shifts.
And the text wraps it all up with this incredibly powerful promise. When you finally get those outflows to stop and those fetters are broken, you become free. You have, and I quote, made an end of suffering. So all this leaves us with one last very practical question for you. This isn't just ancient history, right? It's a living, breathing toolkit. You don't need to become a master of all 7 overnight. Just look at them again. Seeing, guarding, avoiding, using, enduring, dispelling, cultivating. Just for today, which one of those ancient tools feels like the one you need the most in your life right now? Definitely something to think about.